Big thanks to EA Game Changers for my copy of Sims 4 Nifty Knitting. Let's be honest, none of us have high expectations for stuff packs. They're fairly cheap and they don't have a history of adding much gameplay at all. But hey, this time around we actually have a skill as the central item, and in my eyes, that's a good thing. You only need a knitting basket in your Sims inventory to start knitting, and from there you can do it almost anywhere except picnic tables and chairs that are in a slot. Heck, if you sit poolside, you can knit there if you click the basket in your inventory. I found you can knit in lots of places, but apparently not in a sauna. If you find knitting boring, I have news for you. The Sims do too. That's right, this stuff writes itself. The Sims get bored after they knit and lock you out from doing more knitting, but this does stop at level 6 and up. Knitting is one of those inspired skills, so getting your Sim in a creative mood helps speed up your leveling. As you level it, you'll unlock new categories of items. It's entire categories at once. At first you can only make beanies, then socks, and eventually sweaters and mailbox cozies that are more complex. When you make clothes, you don't automatically unlock the ability to wear it. You have to add to wardrobe every single color of every single clothing item if you want to be able to dress your Sim with it. You can reference what you have access to in the crafting menu with that third column showing what you've added. It unlocks for everyone in the household, so you need to do them once, but it's a lot of stuff to make it to actually unlock it all. Probably 100 plus clothing items when you count for all the different colors. All in all, you have a fairly simple skill here. It has like 2 animations, the knitting and teaching some other Sims to knit. So it can be a bit repetitive to watch, so it's a lot of speed 3 material. In this pack, you can kind of look at knitting as unlocking things instead of finding them all available in Build By and Cast right from the start. See what I mean? This is all you'll see when you look at Build By, but yet there's a good bit more tucked away behind knitting. It has about the same amount of stuff as other packs, it's just gated by your ability to knit the items. You can get around this with By Debug and a new cheat that unlocks everything in Cast for you. So what do you do with all the stuff you knit? Well, you can sell it in your inventory like most other stuff, or decorate your Sim's house with it. But another option that comes with this pack is to list it on Plopsy. It's a new eBay or Etsy-like store where you can list most kinds of craftables that you can make that don't spoil. I was not having much success with selling on Plopsy. It might be hard to make a living on it as far as I'm able to tell. But I bet some of you will agree with this. A little difficulty in the name of realism isn't such a bad thing. So I retract my concept that Plopsy is useless. Anyone who knits a lot might have a better chance, but with like 5 items listed on Plopsy, I'd get 1 or 2 hits a day, but some days go by with nothing. It seems like having more items for sale will help your odds somewhat. The other side of Plopsy is pretty powerful. You can check this like 20 times a day because every hour on the hour it refreshes. And depending which packs you have installed, you can find some pretty awesome and powerful stuff on there. Like this Potion of Plentiful Needs. It seems heavily weighted toward knitting type items, but it does list stuff from other packs, including stuff for herbalism and Realm of Magic potions. As a quick note, if you try to sell knits in your inventory, you'll need to turn multi-select on to sell them. They aren't live draggable, so you can't drag them to the sell button that way. The Lord and Lady of the Knits aspiration gives you some minor rewards for maxing out knitting and doing a few things like selling on Plopsy or showing off your new knitted sweater to another Sim. You get the Sacred Knitting Knowledge trait as a reward. What's that do exactly? Well, the sweater curse is the thing in the knitting community. Basically, that gifting a sweater to a lover can lead to a breakup before you finish or after you've gifted it. It seems to vary in meaning, so someone would tell me I've got it wrong no matter which version I said, so there, I'll give you both. In game, this manifests as a really strong +2 tense mulet for a full week, but only when you gift it to a Sim that is labeled your significant other. Not a husband, and not someone you have not yet declared your girlfriend or boyfriend, so it's pretty specific. This moodlet is nasty and actually makes all romance more likely to fail and lowers your relationship really fast when you use romance interactions. What Lord or Lady of the Knits Forbidden Knowledge perk does is lets you dispel this curse so the relationship can continue. I think it is possible if you do not dispel it, the Sims will break up, So I don't feel like waiting a week, but let me know what happens in the comments. I sort of wimped out on this because I feel like you could just ask them to be boyfriend as soon as it's over. So, given the knitting, the player base wanted some Elder related stuff in this pack and was hoping to see improved Elder gameplay. Rocking chairs fit that stereotype, but I think when players want Elder gameplay, they want stuff unique to Elders, so that age will feel different to others. Knitting fits the Elder look, but it's open to everyone. Everything here is just for everyone, so it's not Elder gameplay except for one thing: Reminisce. The Reminisce ability lets your Elder Sims sit and think on their past, doing things that don't exist in the game. They sit there and think up everything for about an hour, then at the end, they get a random moodlet. I got angry, and the moodlet text indicated that this was a powerful memory. This was the moment that ruined his life. Damn. Without some form of memory system, this honestly falls pretty flat and is just a tiny interaction not worth being called a feature. An activity that lasts an hour and gives a 2-hour moodlet is pretty blah from a pure gameplay perspective. I didn't see any interesting benefits to this, so I won't be using Moodlet Roulette very often in my play, and I'm sure plenty of you agree. It's like just a chance to take good pictures. There are 2 new radio stations in this pack, Metal and Focus. One to rock out and air guitar to, and another that is kind of chill beats you might listen to when studying. The air guitar animation is pretty good, probably the best, most detailed animation in the pack. On the build buy side, there's this nice new desk that snaps to this here table. Another new desk, and this nice little shelf that you can put an item on. There's more shelving, desks, and wall clutter. There are 4 types of rocking chair and of course different colors for those. Our knitting baskets are on the floor here in front of this very comfy looking living room suit. These wall decorations look homemade and definitely fit in with the rest of the pack. On the things you can knit side of things, these hanging plants are going to be a big hit with builders and anyone who likes to decorate rooms and porches. I got kinda sick of placing them. There's a long, medium, and short length version of each, and each style is available in a different length. There are tons of little things you can make in the children's toys and decorations category. There's little cacti and penguins, llamas and octopi. I think that's a word. Toys kids can play with include the turtles, little bears, Yarny from the EA Unravel games, and cute little Grim Reapers. I think these are my favorite. Here, child, play with this thing that reminds you of death. You can also make a variety of rugs, and they made me put the mailbox cozies outside. Basically, a mailbox cozy is an entirely new mailbox, not something you slip over the box you have. Just to be clear about that. So, my opinion is, it's fine. It's not amazing. It works for what it is. No one expects much interactivity for a knitting skill. It's just for unlocking things and seeing your sim get better. The pack itself is like Moschino in that you can buy it and you know exactly what you're getting. So far for me, it's less buggy than Moschino was, mainly due to that career that it was in that pack, but we never know what problems players are going to have until a bunch of people start playing. So hey, sorry I am late with this. I should have had something out Monday, but I had problems with my Sims 4 install and I had to do tinkering to figure out how to get the game to run. I don't think it was a result of the recent patch, but more something went wrong with my Windows and I finally did sort out what was wrong. If you like this, please give it a like, and if you enjoy what I do, consider sharing my video. I appreciate the support as always to those of you who watch everything. Have a great week.